gentlemen, my name is Chris, and this is my channel, Barn on 11970. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to hear what I have to say, and hopefully we'll have some common sense and some good conversation here today. It is 4:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 23rd, 2016, and I want to talk about something in regards to a video I did just the other day. Now, with some of the people that left some comments, and even some regular subscribers, there were some people that were very angry about a video I made, basically just reiterating what Trump was saying, is that he is not going to be he's not going to be prosecuting Hillary. They've said that they've suffered enough, and this is what they've said, and that he's got more important things to do with the country. And I was basically telling people that this was not a surprise to me. This is a corrupt system. We seem to forget that, and it doesn't matter who's in charge. They're not in charge. We seem to forget that. So there were some people, even regulars that have been following me for a while, that got very angry. And again, like I try and help people, stay away from your emotion and think of logic, and you will think more clearly. So, to all of you out there that are listening to this, give this an opportunity. Shut down your emotions, your attachment to this person, and think about what I'm about to say, and then make up your mind from there. Because like I've always said, I give my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but the anger that I got from a very few, and the good thing is it's the few, not the majority, still shows that emotions are running strong in this, and how easily you could be trapped without even realizing it. Because like I've said before, you need real eyes to realize. So some people made what would seem to be a legitimate response to that. And there were a couple of people, even in the live stream, that were saying that, give him a chance, or that he was tricking people, saying he'll really, once he becomes president, he'll put her in jail. Now, let me explain to you how that would not make sense and would be counterproductive. Because if that's the case, he wouldn't say anything. He would just stay silent on it and say things like he has no comment. So this way, he's not stuck or pigeonholed in any one direction. But he was interviewed with New York Times, and he stated that he's not going to prosecute her, and she's been through enough. And let me tell you something right now. I want her in jail. When you commit a crime, you should, as they say, do the time. So I am not excited about what's happening here. So make no mistake, I wanted Hillary in jail. It just doesn't shock me that Trump is turning around now after he's been elected and changing what a big majority of his campaign was all about. And that was, like the quote says here, you'll be in jail, or you'd be in jail is what they originally said. But think about this now. He has now put it out there publicly that Hillary will not be prosecuted, that she supposedly had enough, she's quote-unquote suffered enough, and he wants to talk about more important things. That's called dodging the issue. So now think of it. Look at all the protests that are going on right now just because he was quote-unquote elected. How many riots there have been? How much division? How much anger? How much frustration? Now just imagine, he says publicly, and that's what he did, that he is not going to put her in jail. And then after he becomes president, if everything goes smoothly in the transaction and the transition actually happens and he becomes president, and then all of a sudden he says, ha ha, April Fools, I'm really going to throw her in jail, and proceeds to do that, how much will the media and the left go into utter hysterics and probably want to start another civil war? Because look how angry they are just for him being quote-unquote elected in. How angry people are. They're still protesting to this day. Now just imagine and think about it. I want you to think. I don't want you to use emotion. I know some people are so emotionally attached to this person that they're willing to forget the corruption. A lot of people that found my channel found it based on one of my most popular videos. And that's the video of The Truth About the United States Law and You, where I talk about things like the Act of 1871, where this country is not what you think it is. It's a corporation. So the person that's running this corporation is not in charge. Just like I'll say, for example, because I've said this all the time, kings and queens rule countries, presidents run corporations. I'll give you an example of how presidents have no authority. They're basically punching bags and distractions. Let's say I am the owner of, let's say, a worldwide company called God's Goods. We'll just call it God's Goods. And I hire you as the president of my company. So you're now the president. Let's say I have 1,000,000 stores all around the world. It's the biggest company in the world, and I am the owner of God's Goods. You are my president. I hire you to be the president to run my businesses because I'm the multi-billionaire. I want to sit back and enjoy life and let you do the work and hire the employees and schedule the, all the people's schedules and, fire and hire people, etc. Do all the dirty work. Now, you'll have a lot of power as president of that company, won't you? You could hire people, you could fire people, you could set schedules, you could tell people how to dress, you could give people the procedures, you could do a lot of things. But you cannot all of a sudden sell the company. You could not all of a sudden give yourself a raise. You could not all of a sudden change the way the business works without my permission. Because I am the boss. I am the owner of the business. You just work for me. You have a better title than everybody else that works for me, but you are not in charge. So whether it's Hillary Clinton, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Obama, or whether it's Donald Duck, none of them are in charge of anything. The people who are financing, have we forgotten how many billions of dollars were going towards Hillary Clinton to make her president? And all the people that were, quote unquote, donating money to her foundation for political favors? Do we seem to forget these things? And this is why I try so hard to get people to stop with the emotions and think. Because if he said, and like I said, if he legitimately wanted to put her in jail, the smartest thing for him to have done was, even if he was asked the question, to say, I have more important things to talk about right now, and just not spoken about it. The fact that he put it on record, talking to the New York Times, saying that he is not going to imprison her or not investigate, if he became president and all of a sudden did it, there would be riots in the street. The media would have a heyday with this. Do you think that's going to bring unity? Or do you think that's going to bring more division? So trust me, I wanted Hillary in jail for the things that she's done. But she's a member of the club that Donald Trump is also in. And they are friends. They are even related. They are like 13th cousins, but, they still have a relation. They've been to each other's weddings. They are very happy to be around each other. You could see it after the third debate when they did that roast, how she was enjoying his little rant, laughing hysterical about it. Even afterwards, when people were so shocked at the things he said, she was smiling afterwards. These people are in a club that we're not invited in. And they are suckering people into thinking, well, this person's going to make promises. Every president has made promises. They either go against their promises or they get murdered, so they can't keep their promises. So as much as everybody wants to think that Donald Trump is God's savior, it's not going to be the case. And let me put it to you this way. I will be proud and be the first one to admit I was wrong if it happens. Because do you think I'm going to be upset if I find out months from now that Hillary Clinton ended up in jail for her crimes? Do you think I'm going to, oh, darn? I'll be thrilled. I'll be dancing in the streets. But I don't see it happening. And again, with this divide and conquer, it's even getting some of my subscribers that have been following me for years to unsubscribe because I guess their feelings got hurt because I said something that made them emotionally upset by saying, I'm not surprised that he's going to not investigate her. I've been trying to tell people this. And if you want to unsubscribe because I am not going to pander to your emotions, that's perfectly fine because my channel is not about pandering. My channel is to try and get people to think for themselves and think on a deeper level so you are less likely to be under someone else's control. And if you're going to get mad at me for not saying everything that you want to hear, Well, don't let the proverbial door hit you on the rear end on the way out. I'm not doing this for millions of views. I'm doing it because it's right. That's why my slogan isn't helping to unite the people 1 million at a time, or 1 billion at a time, or even 100 at a time. It's helping to unite the people one person at a time. So I don't care if the majority of people do not resonate with my opinion, because that's all it is. And opinions can be wrong. And I'm okay with that. But I'm trying to get people to think for themselves. I mean, I'll give you a prime example, and I want to show you how my channel is still being manipulated. And I'm going to put it on here so you could see how my videos, even the last one I did, is being blocked. So let me put on the screen share. Now, obviously, I don't have to worry about fair use because I'm showing my own videos, so that makes it a lot easier. But let me show you this really quick. Every video I've made recently, including the one from last night, is blocked in some countries. So let's go here so I can show you. Now, if I change, let's go first for new visitors. This is the one I put there, even though it's blocked in some countries, because to me it's important. It only has 586 views. And this is a video where I could show that the people are not booing. Now, somebody tried to make the claim of they saw one person booing. Okay, let's assume that that person's right and one person in that crowd was booing. Is that going to make the sounds that you hear? The sounds make it seem like most of the people are booing. One person would be overshadowed by all the people that are smiling and cheering. So, you could make whatever truth and whatever reality you want to fit into your own agenda. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get people to see things. So let's go to, if I wanted to switch it. Now watch up here. Here's the video I made just 15 hours ago, and I checked this last night, it already did it. See? Careful. The video you selected may not appear to some viewers because it's blocked in some countries. Well, why is it blocked? Is it because I curse in it? I sure don't. Is it because there's nudity? There sure isn't. Is there racism? There sure isn't. Is there anything feminist in there? There sure isn't. Is there anything not suitable for children? Nope. It's just me giving my opinion. So why is it blocked? Because they don't want people to hear about this, because that might make them think about common sense. Here's my other video. Look, still there. Here's my other video. Still blocked. And what is this one? This one is, it's all going to be okay. So that's an inspirational video. So, you want to make sure you block that in certain countries, so some people might be offended by inspirational videos. Okay? Blocked, 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 blocked. So I get those trolls every now and then and say, oh, you must be a paid shill because you have 30,000 subscribers and yet you only have maybe 1,000 people view. Well, it's kind of hard to get them to view it if my videos are being blocked. So to me, all that says is I'm going in the right direction. So all I can say to people is to think for yourself. I will be very happy to make a video saying I was wrong if Hillary ends up in jail. And the very few trolls that try and call me a shill, I mean, it just shows how dumb some people are. Somebody last night from that video I made yesterday said I must be a Republican or a rightist shill. Really? How do you figure when most of my videos are talking about how Hillary should be in jail, but I also say don't trust Donald, and I have several videos that say even before the election that I don't trust either one. One of the reasons why I don't put myself on camera anymore is not because I'm afraid or anything, but especially in the wintertime, I mean, if I'm a paid shill, I'm making pretty bad money because right now I'm in my bathrobe and I have a blanket wrapped around me because to save money on heating oil, we shut the thermostat off. So until it goes below freezing, we keep the heat all the way down so we could save money. So if I'm a paid shill, I'm getting paid pretty bad. And it's just ridiculous how some people will just make any accusation. I'm not here to make people's feelings feel better. If you're coming here because you want to hear a certain thing to make yourself feel good about what your belief system is, you've come to the wrong place. I will question Hillary. I will question Obama. I will question Donald Trump because I know the system is corrupt and I will not forget certain things so it makes me feel better. So if you want Trump to be your savior, you're going to be disappointed. And if I'm wrong, then that means things are good. But if you're wrong, by the time you realize it, it will be too late. And this is why we can have century after century of leaders throughout history always telling the people what they want to hear and giving them a few trinkets so they can feel good about themselves for a little while longer, and string them along and steal from them for thousands of years. And things don't change. And it's not going to change because people don't want it to change. Because they want Trump now to change all these little things in this slave system. So even though you're in jail, so to speak, they'll give you an extra candy bar every week. They'll let you take an extra nap time. They'll keep you from getting raped as much as you used to with the old warden. They'll let you go outside in the field, a little bit longer. They'll give you an extra 10 cents in your labor. But you're still locked behind closed doors, and they still get to pamper off of your labor. So just imagine if you were in prison. Just use that analogy. Let's just say the last warden of that jail took away all of your little bonuses. You only got 1 hour a week of outdoor time. You only were allowed to take a shower once a week. The only food you were allowed to eat was corn, bread, and water. And there was a lot of fighting in that jail. And then all of a sudden, another warden comes in. And he's friendly. He says hello to you as he walks by your jail cell. He hands you a brownie and says, here you go. Here's some extra sugar. Oh, you only get 10 cents a day for your labor? I'm going to double it and give you 20 cents. Heck, you know what? I'll raise it to $1. And you get to spend 2 days a week outside. And you get to take a shower every day, and we'll even provide you with nice warm water. Isn't that better, my good little slave? Have a good night. I'm going to go home to my family. Enjoy your prison. This is what people don't want to get with what's going on right now. If you think a president runs any country in the world, you are still asleep, even though you're here, and that's better than being some of the people that have their heads under the ground and heads in the sand. But if you're going to get upset with me for raining on your parade because you don't want to hear it because you're still living with rose-colored glasses, they are not going to save you on a sinking ship. Think all the wonderful thoughts you want. If I'm on that boat and I'm trying to get you to understand that sitting there playing the violin with your fellow celloists are going to do nothing but have you enjoy your drowning. I'm trying to get you to see there are lifeboats, and all you have to do is get one, climb on board, and swim away. Do you think I'm doing that for anything other than the fact that I care about more than myself? Do you think I get paid to do that? Because trust me on this, I could do so many other different types of videos and make a hell of a lot more money than I'm doing here. Because I ain't making a lot to even make it worth it for the aggravation and stress that I deal with. I do it because it's right. And you notice that, especially if you've been following me for years, I've stayed consistent with everything I've said. And there's an old saying that says, when you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. So I don't change my stories all the time. Even when I talk about the thing about the fight that I almost wanted to get with a fellow troll YouTuber back in 2012. I still have the same situation of why it happened because I didn't make it up. So I don't need to remember what I said because it was true, regardless of what anybody else says. So I lose subscribers all the time, and it doesn't bother me one bit. I have my channel, and I've proven it now on several occasions, where my videos, as soon as they are posted, they are blocked in some country so people can't see them. All that does is tells me I'm on the right track. And I'm trying to tell people, stop using your emotions and start thinking. People want this savior so they can not be putting in an effort, so they don't have to do anything. They want somebody else to come along and do everything for them. And you are going to be sorely mistaken. You are still going to lose value of your currency. You are still going to be struggling every week to make ends meet. You might every now and then sell your soul out so you can get a couple extra fiat dollars so you can troll channels or start a riot or go on a television programming show and lie to the people and make sure you have plenty of people that can cover it up so videos like mine that expose their frauds don't see the light of day. And that's why when people say out there in the quote-unquote real world, oh, if this stuff was true, people would talk about it, people would know about it. What about the Act of 1871? What year is this, supposedly? It's 2016 going on 2017. What was the act called? Was it the Act of 2014? Was it the Act of 2016? No, it was the Act of 1871. So this has been around and in effect since the 1800s, and yet still the majority of people either don't know about it, or the very few that even know about it think it's crazy and doesn't hold water. That's how they control people. So if you want to join the masses and wave your flags and think this is going to be the time where it's finally going to change, good luck with that. I hope I'm wrong. But for those of you who want to have real change, if you don't get up and make change yourself, it ain't going to happen. Because you will see, slowly but surely, this president, if he becomes president, because he's still not president yet, he'll start changing a lot of things that he said. And they'll make plenty of good excuses that will make sense. Just like what he did with Hillary already. If he had every intention to put her in jail like he promised, he would have said nothing. But he already put it out in public that he's not going to get her because poor Hillary has suffered enough with making millions of dollars, with getting the chance to become the president, and all of the people bowing down to her, all the media bowing down to her, all of the celebrities bowing down to her. What a suffering. I wish I could suffer like that. That poor woman. Don't you feel bad for poor Hillary? So she, according to Trump, has suffered enough. And we're okay with this. I'm not. So here's my advice to people who have a problem with what I'm saying. There's a button called unsubscribe. Feel free to hit it and watch another channel that will pander to your ego so you could sleep better at night while they steal from you. Who I want here are the ones who care, who are the ones that can think beyond their emotions, who are the ones that are not afraid to question things, who don't think a 15, 20, 30-minute video is too long if it resonates with them, who has more patience than a goldfish. Those are who I want here. And I appreciate you all that do come here for the right reasons, knowing that my people get unsubscribed all the time, knowing my subscribers don't get notifications, knowing that even if you hit the like button, it won't register, knowing that even if you share it, it won't be seen most of the time. The fact that people keep coming back means everything to me. Even the stalker trolls who want to try and insult me all the time, but do nothing positive on their end. And this is how my channel is. You will not get frills. You will not get bells, whistles, and lights to look at. You will not have beautiful music in the background to distract you. And a person that's, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it and talk to you in this condescending way. No, you're not going to get that here. You're going to get a real person that talks in an unscripted way, that bases things on his own observations and feelings and emotions, and talks about things in a way that most people don't because I question things. And those are the people I want to hit the subscribe button. If 90% of the people watch this and get offended by what I say because it hurts your feelings, go join the liberals out there in the streets protesting and go into your safe space. Because those people, they're welcome here, but they're ridiculous. And you will get what you give. So continue to deny, continue to attack people like me and others who are trying so hard to wake people up because we care. At least I think they do. I can't speak for anybody else. And start thinking for yourself. One day somebody will make a change in the world. But right now, it's not Donald Trump. It's not Hillary Clinton. It's nobody in this corrupt system. If you're in jail, I don't care how many times they change the warden, you're still behind bars. When you're ready to get out of there and be free, you will no longer have your food served to you. You will no longer have your clothes provided for you. You will no longer have a roof provided. But you will also be able to go wherever you want. And most people are afraid of that. And I keep telling people, stop living in fear. Because it is a choice. But it's one they want you to be in. They want you to be angry. And they want you to be scared. Because they can control you. And apparently, even people that have followed my channel for years still cannot let go of their emotions. And that's a shame. And I hope they change it, because they're always welcome back. But if you're going to thank me for hundreds of videos and then one video doesn't resonate with you and you run away like a crybaby, I'm sorry you get offended by what I have to say. but you can come back anytime. So with that being said, I'm getting an error message, which means this is going to be shut off because, that's just what happens with my videos. So I want to take this time before it does shut off, thanking everybody for taking the time to listen. Those of you who will take that extra step and share it and thumb it up, I always appreciate that. Comments are always welcome, and let's start changing the world. Let's stop waiting for change. Otherwise, all you're going to have in your bank account is change. Have a great day, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.